Right, here we are with topic 2-2, adding and subtracting fractions. Probably the part of fractions that people deal with the most, that they struggle with the most, tends to be adding and subtracting fractions. And I hope that today I'm going to make that so much easier for you that it's never a struggle again. Okay, so our essential question today is, how do I add and subtract partial numbers? And what if they are different sizes? What if the fractions are different sizes? Okay. So let's go into our, we don't really have vocabulary this time because we kind of dealt with it all in 2-1. But what do I need to have in order to be able to add and subtract fractions? You need a common denominator. And it doesn't need to be the lowest common denominator. It doesn't matter because we can always simplify back. So we're not going to worry about lowest. We need a common denominator. And what does that mean? That means that the bottom number has to be the same, so that our fractions are in the same size pieces. We're just going to call them pieces because that's kind of what they are, right? They're the parts of a whole. So let's think about this. Let's say I've got 2 candy bars over here, okay? And I want to be able to split this evenly with my friend Jill, okay? So let's say I've got a Twix on the left side and a Snickers on the right side, but I cut mine into thirds and she cut hers into fourths, okay? So I cut mine into thirds, oops, like this. Actually, let me do this. This will help a little bit more. So I cut mine into thirds, and she cut hers into fourths. But we want to split it between us so that we have exactly the same amount of each candy bar. Okay? So we need to figure out how we're going to do that evenly. So mine is in thirds, and I'm going to take a third of my candy bar and give it to her. And then she's going to take a fourth. Well, so first of all, and give it to me, but that means that I'm getting less than she has because a fourth is smaller than a third. I had to split it between 4 people, right? So the easiest way we're going to do that is we are going to go ahead and split the left one in fourths just like we did the right-hand side. Okay, and then on the right-hand side, we're going to split that one into thirds and see what our equivalent is. So now I want you to see how many we have on each side. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 squares on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, squares are actually rectangles. On the right-hand side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now they're in the same size pieces, so now I can add them together, okay? So if you think about it with equivalent fractions like we just did, now on the left-hand side, instead of 1/3, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 squares out of 12 total, right? Those are my 4 that I have right here. On the right-hand side, I have 1, 2, help you with this, 1, 2, 3 out of 12, which is going to be the equivalent to the 1/4 that I had before. I just multiplied those each by 3. Okay, now since I have a 4/12 and a 3/12, I can add that together. 4/12 plus 3/12. Everything's in 12th sizes, but now I have 7 out of 12. 12 is the size piece that we have. On the left I have 4, on the right I have 3, so total I have 7 altogether. Okay? So there's actually a really cool way to do this mathematically where you don't have to draw this picture out for yourself all the time. And we call that either bow tie method or butterfly method. Now, when I made the note pack, I should have left you some more room up here, so I'm going to rewrite this. I think we can do it without. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. And everything that I write down, remember, you need to write down. But this is especially important when we're doing these because you're going to see how you're going to multiply these across. Okay? So, first of all, we're going to write an equal sign over here and write our new fraction line. Okay? Then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply across the bottom. Okay? So, 7 times 5 is 30. Oops. That's not what I wanted. Erase that little gray. There you go. Let's try this. 7 times 5 is 35. Okay? Then across your diagonals, make that 3 a little prettier. Okay. There we go. Okay, then you're going to multiply on your diagonals, just like that. Okay, so first we have 5 times 4, which gives us 20. Okay, we put that right here. We're doing additions, we're going to add that together. Then we're going to do 7 times 2, which is 14. And then all you have to do is add these two numbers together. So 20 plus 14 is, ooh, let me put that in black. Sorry, I'll color coded for you. It's 34, and you're done. You've already found the common denominator because what you did was you multiplied 7 and 5 together. That's your common denominator. Okay. This works for addition as well as subtraction. So I'm going to take the same problem now. We're going to do exactly the same thing, but now we're going to subtract instead of add. So let's scooch over here and remember the process that you're doing. You write an equal sign, and the first thing you're going to do is multiply across the bottom. So you get 35. Then we know this is subtraction, so put your subtraction sign up there. Then you're going to multiply on the diagonals like that. And our first one will be 4 times 5 is 20. 7 times 2 is 14. Now we're just subtracting instead of adding. So 20 minus 14 is 6. And you're done. Neither one of those fractions that we came up with can be simplified any farther than that. So you're done with that problem. Okay? One thing I want you to be really careful about when you are doing this is not to cross cancel first. So you've dealt with, so right here in big letters in some different color, I want you to write, do not, underline it, cross cancel. Okay? We can do that when we're dealing with multiplication, and I'll show that to you when we do multiplication, but I want you to have that in your notes so you remember not to do that. Because I'm going to do a problem now that is where a mistake commonly gets made that I don't want you to make. Okay, so let's do okay, so we're going to do 6 over 11 minus 2 over 9. So a common mistake kids make is that they see this 6 and this 9 and they say, oh, well, I can simplify those both by 3. The problem is we're subtracting. We're not multiplying. So if this was a multiplication problem, you could absolutely do that. Because it's addition or subtraction, you cannot do that. So please don't do that. Okay? So let's go ahead and make our marks so we know where we're going. We're multiplying across and then multiplying on the diagonals. Okay? So equals. So 9 times 11 is 99. Doing subtraction, put your subtraction up there. It's 9 times 6 is 54. 11 times 2 is 22. Now we're just going to subtract 54 minus 22. So 4 minus 2 is 2. And 5 minus 2 is 3. There's no common denominator between 32 and 99, so we can't simplify it any more than that, and that's our answer. I hope you guys see that this is such an easy way to do addition and subtraction. Okay, and I really want you to do it that way. So let's see if this works with improper fractions, okay? So we're going to start with 7/4 plus 5/3, okay? So same process, you're going to do exactly the same thing. Multiply across, then on the diagonals, bring your addition sign up top, write your answer. So 4 times 3 is 12. On this first diagonal, we have 21, and 4 times 5 is 20. Now you're just going to add those together. 21 plus 20 is 41, and done. Okay? All right, what if you have mixed numbers? So my advice to you in this class is going to be always change everything you have into an improper fraction, where the number on top is bigger than the number on the bottom. And the way we're going to do that, and you may have some problems in con where you have to do this, but we will do more practice problems in class. So say I have the problem 6, let's draw a line there, 6 1/3 plus 2 4/5. So what I want to do is, this means that something can go, that I had six whole sets of 3 plus an extra one, okay? So what that really means, oh, look what I did. Sorry about that. Let's try that again. Okay, 6 1/3. It means that I had, to do my highlighter, 6 whole sets of 3 plus an extra one. So what you're going to do is you're going to multiply 6 times 3 plus 1. So 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19/3. Okay? 5 times 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14/5. So now this is my problem I'm going to work with. Much easier. Don't have to deal with the mixed numbers. Addition, it's not usually an issue, but subtraction, it gets to be an issue because then you have to borrow, and who wants to do borrowing, and this way you just don't have to deal with it. So I'm going to take this problem now and move it over here. Okay. So we have 19/3 plus 14/5. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing that we did in the problems before. So we're going to multiply across the bottom and then on the diagonals. Okay. So in this case, we're going to get 5 times 3 is 15, 19 times 5. So 5 times 20 would be 100, so it's 5 less than that. So it's 95 plus 3 times 14 is 42. And we're just going to add that up, and we have 137. Okay? So that's it for 2-2.